Can you really build wealth from nothing? Absolutely. In this powerful video, we break down the exact principles, mindset, and strategies that help people rise from zero to financial success. Subscribe to Pathway with Victor Itonio on YouTube for more teachings on how to leverage skills, create opportunities, manage money wisely, and build multiple income streams, even if you're starting with nothing.
Hello, welcome to today's episode on Pathway with Victor Itonio. We're so glad to have you on board today. And today we'll be sharing a very important topic that is very dear to my heart because it's something that truly a lot of people will be blessed by it. Today's topic is stop competing with others. Find your space. Many people in life today are always comparing themselves to others. Looking at other people's successes, what others have achieved, some comparing with themselves with their classmates in primary school, some in secondary school, some in high school, some in university, or some even just at one age or the other. Such kind of comparison only leads to frustration, because in life, believe me and hear this clearly, you will always see somebody who is doing better in something than you. That is a balancing equation of life. So when you keep comparing yourself with others, you will always look like you have not achieved anything, and you will be unthankful and ungrateful. No wonder the Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 2, it says, but they measuring themselves with others are not wise. They are not wise. When you are comparing themselves with others, that they are not wise. And that is the reality. Listen, no matter the level of success you are, you cannot be successful in everything more than every other person's. No way. Somebody may have more money than you, but he may not have your height. He may not have your appearance. Somebody may have more clothes than you, but guess what? They cannot talk like you. Somebody may have all the good features, but guess what? They may not. There must be an area in their life that they have a shortage, as I may put it, or a default, but where this other person have an advantage. So what is the lesson here saying? Stop comparing yourself with others. When you compare yourself with others, you will always find yourself shortened in an area, and it will begin to make you to doubt yourself and to wonder if you are in the right frame of mind, if you are in the right space, or if you are not. Listen, the moment you leave your space and you start comparing yourself to others, it means you have lost your terrain. You have left your area of competence, and you are now working with others in other perspective. Let's look at fishes. As wonderful as fishes are, the fish can only be effective in their what? Space. And what is the space for the fish? It's in the river, in the water, whether it's a pond, whether it's no matter the size of the pond or the river or the ocean, the moment you put a fish in their space, you realize what they were created for. They are comfortable in their space. Bring the same fish that is so efficient and bring him into a land, and you put the fish on the land. Guess what? He's going to struggle because that is not their environment. In the same analogy, I want you to know this. God created you definitely for a purpose. He created you, all right? The right features you need for your purpose is what God has given you. And in life, if you want to go far, if you want to achieve your goals, make sure you are not competing with others. Does it mean that sometimes checking at what others are doing and trying to learn from them is a bad thing? Absolutely not. If we know, for example, students, you are in school and there is another student who is going to learn in the library, spending time to read, That is a positive thing you can learn. But now copying your life to his own lifestyle is what we are saying. Don't compare and start competing with others in their area of strength. Rather, focus on what God has given you in your destiny and be the best you can be in what God has called you to be. So the truth is this. I want you to know that as many of us as different, even our fingerprints are different. Right now, it's also discovered that even the eyes, our eyes, if you go to some many embassies now, they take a snapshot of your face, particularly your eyes. They say, look into the camera. Why are they doing this? Because every eye is different from every other person, even twins that were born on the same day. Why? Our fingerprints are different. Our, biometrics in every form, eyes or whatever, they are all different. And God created each of us unique. That's why if God can create us so uniquely different, it means that every one of us must dwell on the area where God has called us to be. That's why competing with others in something, in their areas of life is a foolish thing. There's a popular saying, they said, there is no competition in destiny. We're told of how Noah gathered all the animals into the ark. I'm sure the lion, the cheetah, they ran ahead and made it in no distant time. The elephant walked slowly, they made it. The giraffe, with his long legs, also made it, walking fast, But guess what? Among all these animals, we also saw that the tortoise, as slow as he was, maybe it took him several days, but the tortoise also made it to the ark. Listen, in life, there is no need competing with others. Your friend has a big house, so you also want to struggle to be a big house when you can afford it. Listen, you will only put so much pressure on yourself and you will not be able to achieve what God has called you to do. So what are we saying? Find your space. What does it mean by finding your space? Find what God has called you to do. What has God called you to be? Listen, if you can identify what you are supposed to do, that is like you, the fish finding the water. You will be able to excel in that dimension. Stop trying to be what others are good at. If that is not your sphere of interest, if that's not what you are built to do, stop struggling there. Can you imagine somebody who is not good at singing, struggling to sing a song? Everybody will go to sleep. Find your space. You may not be a good singer, but you might be a good instrumentalist. You may not be a good instrumentalist, but yours may be just welcoming people, or maybe chatting with people, giving direction, or your own is videography or something. Find your space. So, how do you find your space? What is it that you do that you find when you're doing that thing, it looks like that is what you are called to be? Listen, when you find your space, whatever you love to do, you will find so much joy. Even when you are not paid for it, you want to do it for long. Listen, I can keep talking to you right here for the next 2 hours without feeling tired. Why? Because this is a gift that I have. I like communicating. I like talking to people. For you, it might be cooking. And listen, don't allow anybody diminish your giftings, what you are called to do. It may look very minor, just like organizing a place. But listen, it's a big deal. That is what many people struggle with. Just organizing. And today, listen, all these event planners, they are people who are making money out of organizing things. Some is making clothes. Find your space and excel in that area. The next thing I want you to understand is that unhealthy competition creates undue pressure and loss of focus. Unhealthy competition creates so much pressure and loss of focus. When you are competing with others, you leave your space. And because it's not an area you are so gifted, what happens? You find yourself trying to meet up. Listen, not everybody will be a Michael Jordan. Not everybody will be a Tiger Woods. Yes, find your space and be the best of what you can be in that area. Focus on what you are called to do. Stop being distracted by the successes other people are making. If that's not your area, listen, you cannot compete with a fish in the waters. It's impossible. No matter how good swimmer you are, you cannot beat the fish in his own terrain. What are we saying? Find your terrain. The next thing we have to do in life is to focus on our own assignment. Focus on our own assignment. If you look at the story of Moses in the Bible says that it came a time that Moses realized himself that he was not an Egyptian, that he was actually of the Jews. And what did he do? Even though he was called by God to become a deliverer, he tried to help himself. He tried to help himself to fast track the calling. What did he do? He went on to kill an Egyptian. It wasn't a surprise. It was the same people that he was trying to help that revealed the secret, that made him to escape. When you find your space, you need to know what God expects you to do and begin to walk in the light of your calling. For some people, destiny appears delayed. Some of your friends in school have gone so far. They have gone miles away. Listen, the wealthiest man today may not be the brightest person in his class, may not be a person that is able to accomplish so much within a short time. Life is not a competition. You just need to know your terrain and excel in your environment. What is the next thing? Your peace and your blessings is in your space. Listen, your peace and your blessing is in your space. When you find what you are called to do and you exert yourself in that area and you begin to do it many times without looking for any rewards, just enjoying the fact that you are doing what you love to do, what is going to happen? You will see what the things you are not looking for begin to be attracted to you. Money will come. Good relationship will come. Companions, Lord, dream builders will come around you because they know that together you guys are going to build something that is unique, that will be a blessing to life. Listen, life is about impacting. We need to give value to life. We need to give influence to life. We need to give so that the people around us will be blessed by our giftings. Listen, every gift that God has given us is not just for ourselves. The gift that God has given you is to be a blessing to others. That's why those who are called to leadership should see it as a primary responsibility to do what? To lead right. Good governance. Clear leadership. Providing quality service to people. There's so many people who regret it when they have lost the place of, they are no more in position of power, and then they look at the things they should have done and they have not done. That's why you see some people, after they do one level, they want to come for another level. Listen, it's not about the levels of listen that you go for. It has to do with what value. Now, there's nothing wrong going from one level to the other. I'm just saying, if it is only doing that for the purpose of positional and not about impacting lives, then it is a negative. Take it from me. It doesn't matter how many cars you buy to yourself. It doesn't matter how many luxuries of life you acquire. A life without positive impact, particularly the people you are leading, is a life of waste, no matter the height you get to. The next thing is what? We need to learn to appreciate our own journey. The beauty about running your own race is this. Enjoy the race. Enjoy the moment. As you go along life race, enjoy the moment. Exert yourself in what you do and enjoy every moment. Listen, one of the beautiful things you see is about good singers. You see, I love seeing somebody who is singing and smiling. It shows that they're doing it from their heart. When somebody is singing genuinely and is also putting a smile on their faces, not only do they bring smile to others, but they are also radiating God, the glory of God around themselves and those who are listening to them. What are we saying? Learn to appreciate your journey. Enjoy every bit of it. Celebrate every success. Don't compare yourself with others. But you can, listen, one of the key things I learned about one of the fastest runners of our time, all right, was that the Jamaican. I was told that anytime this guy is running, he was not competing with others. He was running against time. He was running against his time. He said, yesterday, I did what? 10.11. I'm going to do better than 10 because that is not a standard. The standard is to make sure that I break 9.6. 9.6. So all athletes, they strive to beat their last best record or the global world best record on any, whether it's 100 meters, 200 meters, or whatever. So in your life, you have to be the best of what you can be. The truth is this: you need to stay faithful to your assignment. And remember that you do not need to become someone else to succeed in life. Your success is tied to what God has given you. What is the advice? Focus on you. Stop comparing yourself with others. And as you do this, I assure you, you will get to the heights of what God has called you to be. God bless you, as I hope to see you in the next edition. Bye for now.